Coming up on Breeze TV, the GoFundMe for the residents who lost their Southview homes has raised over $80,000.
And the city announces new recycling guidelines.
All this and more on Breeze TV.
Live from the Allison B. Parker Studio in the School of Media Arts and Design at James Madison University, this is Breeze TV.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Breeze TV. I'm Sydney Jackstimer.
And I'm Anna Saunders. Thanks for joining us. Local police are now ticketing people who walk on the train tracks through campus. This comes after 2 pedestrians were killed Sunday by the same train operated by the Buckingham Branch Railroad. The first pedestrian was killed in Crozet, Virginia, near Marymart Farm Road and Lanetown Road. The second pedestrian was killed 3 hours later behind the Willow Oak Plaza Shopping Center near the Florence Avenue Bridge in Waynesboro. The CEO of the railroad company, Mark Bryant, said in a press release that the deaths were, quote, a tragic coincidence. The case remains active pending autopsy results.
A group of 3 JMU students traveled to Croatia last week to present a project to NATO that was developed during their JMU X-Labs class. The students presented a computer-based application designed to help speed up the process for deploying troops and supplies. The program is meant to promote problem-solving initiatives for NATO. The group received positive feedback and ways they could improve their project. Next weekend, they will again be presenting to NATO, this time a little closer to home in Norfolk, Virginia.
Donations on donations on donations for those impacted by the Southview fire. The community is giving in more ways than one and doing whatever they can to help.
Literally came from all over the state as far as Stafford.
The JMU and Harrisonburg community came together quickly after the fire at Southview.
And essentially all we do is, tell them how we've organized it, asking them what they need that we don't have, and obtaining that if we can.
865 East immediately opened its doors to donations for those residents, and their lobby is packed with clothing, shoes, bedding, you name it. But many are wondering about the GoFundMe created by a JMU student that grew close to $100,000.
My understanding is her plan was to give it equally to everyone in 1083.
JMU also created a separate fund that has already raised $17,500 for educational purposes.
So that fund is going to be used individually with each student. So our plan is to next start meeting with students and say, what's your need you can't meet?
And when I ask if insurance has any determination for how the GoFundMe or JMU emergency fund will be distributed.
Yeah, we're not focused on insurance. If you go here, you're our responsibility, and we feel like we need to do something to help you.
For all donations that were collected or may not be needed or used by the residents of Southview, the plan is to take them into the community for those who need them. Reporting in Harrisonburg for Breeze TV, I'm Caitlin Merriman.
The city of Harrisonburg announced a change to its recycling guidelines that began on April 1st. Commingled plastics will no longer be accepted at the recycling center, and residents must find other means of disposal for plastic numbers 3 through 7. This will affect about 250 tons of commingled plastics that Rockingham County, Harrisonburg, and JMU dispose of each year. The change stemmed from their vendor, Sunoco, no longer accepting these plastics, so all 3 teamed up to find an alternative. Unfortunately, their search was unsuccessful.
We tried like the Dickens to find someone, but unfortunately we weren't able to. But we were working, all 3 of us working together as a kind of a partnership or a co-op to hopefully form to be able to get rid of that material. But the market has just dried up. There's no good place to take it right now.
JMU and the Harrisonburg Department of Public Transportation are proposing a change to both the routes and schedules of campus and community busing. Reporter Peyton Kennedy and producer Aaliyah McLean inform us on what these changes entail.
Wake up, check today's bus schedule, run to the nearest stop, hop on, and you're off. This routine may sound familiar for JMU students and members of the Harrisonburg community who rely on the busing system, but all that is about to change.
Well, we started looking at changing the bus routes and schedules last fall, and I noticed 2 years ago our ridership went down by 8%. Last year it went down by an additional 18 to 20%. So we're going the wrong direction.
JMU Transportation is working to improve bus ridership, simplify the schedule, and increase busing frequency. These new strategies will force major changes to old routes.
and it'd be regular service like every maybe 15 minutes. Students want instant information. So we took an approach of making buses run more regularly, more frequently.
Eshelman says all buses will run through campus and every off-campus apartment complex in one continuous loop.
I do know I've had to sprint a couple of times at 7 a.m. because the buses come early sometimes. It just gets really annoying sometimes when, you miss a bus and now you have to wait like an extra 40 minutes for the next one to come around.
Eshelman says he believes the new system will help take care of those issues. Kaleem says she hopes the new system will make it easier to get to class on time.
Actually today I needed to go to campus ASAP and I ended up being about 10 minutes late because the bus was supposed to get there on time but the bus was 10 minutes late.
The scheduling change is proposed to happen for the 2019-2020 school year. Reporting for Breeze TV, I'm Peyton Kennedy.
The American Cancer Society is hosting Relay for Life here at JMU at 6 p.m. on the Hillside Fields. The event is to celebrate the brave survivors and to remember the ones who were lost to cancer. JMU's donation goal for this year is $300,000, and as of this moment, we are within $400 of that goal.
Today is choices for the incoming class of 2023. This is an opportunity for the prospective students to attend open houses and go on tours around JMU's campus. Students have the decision to plan their day however they want, including sessions at X Labs, residence halls, and various academic presentations of the majors provided at JMU. Next on Breeze TV, local food artists compete for Top Chef.
And a local eatery hits a huge milestone.
All this and more on Breeze TV.
This is Breeze TV.
Tonight is the kickoff for Mac Rock, a music festival with bands from all over North America. Our senior reporter, Caitlin Merriman, is there now. Caitlin, how's it going?
Anna, Mac Rock kicks off today at 4, but you know what's exciting? It's not just today. No, it's tomorrow too. And I'm here with Grant Penrod, who is one of the head coordinators of Mac Rock. Grant, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So this has been an event since 1996, a long time. And you guys kind of have known as the DIY culture. Can you explain to me what that means?
DIY means we do everything ourselves. DIY is do it yourself. So we book the bands, we talk and arrange with the venues, we do the promotion, we do the fundraising, we coordinate, we pay the bands, and we clean up the mess. There's nobody doing anything for us. We're not taking money from corporations. It's just a volunteer-based group.
In 1996, a long time. How much has it grown in the 20-plus years that you have been a festival?
Well, initially the festival was put on by James Madison University, and so because it had JMU's money at the time, it was much bigger. About 10 years ago, it split off from the university, and we've been growing since then and just trying to become more organized and learn to do things on our own.
And there's a lot of bands coming out this weekend. And how do you guys go about selecting the ones that you choose to be here?
So starting in October of every year, we reach out to bands that we would like to have perform, and we try to book them. And then we also put out applications, so bands from anywhere can apply to play Mac Rock. And we have a blind listening process. They send in CDs, and we listen to them without knowing who they are, where they're from, what their name is, just what they sound like. And we rate them based on how they sound. And then after we've listened to all the applications, this year we got, I think, around 180 applications. Wow. We pick the ones that we like the best and invite them to play.
And can we expect anything new this year?
There's always something new, because there's always some band that, you never heard of their name before, but they send in a great CD or a great application, and so we pick them and bring them down. And the great thing about Mac Rock is a lot of times the bands that you're seeing play here are bands that later go on to become big. If you look at the history of bands that have played this festival, it's some big names, but they weren't big when they played here.
Awesome. Well, it's exciting stuff. Thank you.
Thank you.
And if you would like to come out to Mac Rock, just head over to Court Square Theater to pick up your ticket. For now, live at the Golden Pony in Harrisonburg, Caitlin Merriman, Breeze TV.
Thanks so much, Caitlin. Looks like a lot of fun out there. We'll catch back with you later.
Breeze TV reporter Conwell Syed explores the old Municipal building and shows us what changes are to come.
The city of Harrisonburg is expecting some new changes. The old Municipal building, as part of City Hall, is experiencing renovations to create new office spaces for city employees. The building is being renovated for the first time since 1908. Its initial construction took place in 1879. making the structure over a century old. It has served many functions over the years, including a women's academy, a school, and a hospital during the Civil War.
The municipal building and the different variations of the municipal building have served multiple functions, and I think what that does is it just showcases the history of this site and the structures on this site, of the importance to the city of Harrisonburg as it's evolved.
Those involved on the project find the ultimate goal to be keeping the historic municipal building and current City Hall together and city offices on Main Street and in downtown.
Hopefully it's a blending of the old and the new in a way that the old portions are maintained. So yeah, it'd be rewarding to leave a mark in terms of keeping something significant, being a caretaker, for a generation.
The municipal building project is expected to be completed at the end of 2020. Reporting for Breeze TV in Harrisonburg, I'm Conwal Syed.
With spring underway, Shenandoah National Park is preparing for its annual controlled burn of big meadows, one of the park's top destinations. Sally Hurlbert, the management specialist of Shenandoah National Parks, said that using a prescribed fire is a way to manage the landscape. The park tries to keep the meadow open, where rare plants can survive and get as much sunlight as possible. She also said that one of the benefits of having a fire is that, like a fertilizer, it puts nutrients back into the soil. Even if you haven't met him, chances are you have heard the name. Conley is running for sheriff of Page County, and our senior reporter, Caitlin Merriman, wanted to get a different look at what exactly Conley does here on campus.
Building relationships with communities is the biggest thing that police officers can do.
I think the conversations that we all have with him that brighten our day. I mean, I know I've had a couple with him that I'm pretty hyped to get to talk to him during the days.
He just called me over to this cop car and I was kind of sketched. I thought I was in trouble, but then he just told me that he wanted to get to know me and know my name.
Yeah, it is. I like meeting the tour groups too.
Most of the cops are friendly, but he's extra friendly. Trust me on that one.
The officer we all know and love may have a new adventure coming his way.
Have a great day. Thank you.
Conley is running for sheriff of Page County.
Have a good evening, ladies.
But that won't keep Conley away from his JMU community.
I would like to work as the county sheriff and then come back and work the JMU visiting bits sideline during football games, so I can keep a connection with the students that I've met here over the years. Have a great evening. Come say hi sometime.
Well, it'll definitely be sad to see Conley go, but it sounds like he could be sticking around town, so that's good.
I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, well, up next we got the Breeze TV Sports Wrap, and Siobhan's at the desk. Siobhan, what's happened this week in sports?
This week we will take a look at how track and field, lacrosse, and softball performed, as well as a recap of women's basketball recent performance in the WNIT tournament. All of that and more on Breeze TV Sports Wrap.
This is Breeze TV.
I'm Siobhan Johnson, and welcome back to Breeze TV Sports Wrap. Sunday, the JMU women's basketball team topped the Georgetown Hoyas 54-44. They snatched their 29th win of the season, tying the program record. Redshirt junior Jackie Benitez led the team in scoring with 14 points and 4 from beyond the arc. Senior Ania Young snagged an assist and 11 rebounds, tying her single-game high. The Duke's historic season came to a close Wednesday night when they fell 74-69 to Northwestern in the WNIT semifinals. Redshirt junior Kayla Cooper-Williams finished 4th all-time in blocks, closing the game with 15. Junior Kamaya Smalls went 9 for 9 at the free throw line, finishing with 15 points, and Logan Reynolds finished her JMU career playing in 133 games, 7th most in program history. Although the Dukes won't move to the finals, they leave the season 29-6 and 17-1 in the conference. JMU baseball faced a tough week, losing their first CAA series to the Elon Phoenix. In the first 5-4 loss, the Dukes led 3-0 in the first 3 innings with singles, scoring runners on base from junior Fox Simones, sophomore Michael Morgan, and junior Brady Harju. The Dukes fought all the way up to the 9th, but couldn't match up after Elon's 4-run blast in the 6th. In the final match, JMU freshman David Willis scored 2 home runs for his first multi-home run game in his career. claiming all 3 runs for the Dukes in their 8-3 loss Tuesday. JMU fell 3-1 to the Richmond Spiders. Freshman Kyle Novak scored in the 7th to halt the Spiders at 3, but the Dukes could not finish on top. Harji went 2 for 4 with a walk, and freshman Nick Zoman went 2 for 2. This puts JMU at 18-12 for the season and 2-4 in the conference. JMU softball swept Towson last weekend, ending the series with 6 runs in the 9th for the 6-0 win. Senior Megan Good dominated the circle, securing 17 strikeouts, setting a school record and earning her CAA Co-Pitcher of the Week. Sophomores Hannah File and Logan Newton led at the plate, going 2 for 3 and 3 for 5 Wednesday night. The Dukes won 1-0 over the Liberty Flames, improving to 24-6 for the season and 8-1 in the CAA. Junior Kate Gordon went 2 for 3 at the plate, pulling in JMU's only 2 hits of the game. Junior Cambry Arnold battled an 8-pitch at bat to get the walk that would secure their single-run win. The Dukes improved to 14 on the Softball America National Poll. Following 2 tough home losses, JMU lacrosse bounced back with a dominating 19-8 win over San Diego State. The Dukes opened their non-conference finale last Saturday, with 11 unanswered goals. 11 different players scored for the Dukes, led by junior Hallie Dunkel, who had a career-high 4 goals. 3 other Dukes also tallied 4 goals. Freshman Lizzie Fox had her first career hat trick with 3 goals and an assist, and senior Hannah Haven and sophomore Katie Tchaikovsky both put in 2 goals and 2 assists. JMU enters conference play tonight with an 8-3 record. Last weekend, the track and field Dukes qualified 2 relays for the ECAC championship, the 4x100 meter and the 4x400 meter. In shot put, Dominique Johnson threw for 13.68 meters and already qualified for the ECAC championships after her performance at the UTSA Invitational. Freshman Anu Stom finished 12th out of 79 runners with an ECAC qualifying time of 56.36 seconds in the 400 meter. Softball, baseball, and lacrosse are all back in action this weekend. Be sure to tune in next week to Breeze TV Sports Wrap for the results. Back to you, Sydney and Anna.
Thanks, Siobhan. Next on Breeze TV,
we learn about the life of an Instagram famous freshman.
And Jack Brown celebrates its 10th birthday. All this and more on Breeze TV.
This is Breeze TV.
The Blue Ridge Court-appointed Special Advocates, commonly known as CASA, organization held its 2nd annual Top Chef Harrisonburg competition this past weekend. The competition brought in chefs from local restaurants, including Local Chopping Grill House, Bella Luna, Cuban Burger, Food Bar Food, Vito's, and the Joshua Wilton House. JMU's Montpelier restaurant was also one of the competitors. After those attending tried the dishes served by the chefs and cast their vote, Tom French from the Joshua Wilton House claimed the title of Top Chef. The proceeds from the event went to support Blue Ridge CASA and their mission of advocating for local children in foster care. Organizers were blown away by this year's response.
We picked Top Chef because we thought maybe it works. And this is the 2nd year in a row that it's been a success.
If you are interested in becoming a volunteer advocate for Blue Ridge CASA, go to their website, www.casaforchildren.org.
Known for its burgers and wide beer selection, Jack Brown's has been a staple in the Harrisonburg community for years, 10 years to be exact. Tomorrow, Jack Brown's will be celebrating their anniversary with a beach bash from 12 to 6 p.m. in the lot next to the restaurant. Tickets are $5 and the bash will include a makeshift beach on the pavement, a tiki bar, and a wide selection of food and drink. The bash will celebrate how far childhood friends and co-owners Aaron Ludwig and Mike Sabin have come since they decided to open the bar. Since then, the restaurant has grown from a bar with basic burgers and 40 beers to a popular downtown attraction.
Now we've come up with a wide variety of different burgers, have over 100 beers available. We opened Billy Jack's in 2011, and we've actually opened a whole bunch of more Jack Browns since then. We now have 12 Jack Browns now too. So yeah, it's been a pretty busy 10 years, but loved every second of it. And, love the people I work with and have just had a great experience. So yeah, we've been very blessed and very fortunate. It's been awesome.
Breeze TV reporter Grace James is in the studio to tell us how one student is taking her talents outside the classroom.
Thanks, Sydney. While many students spend time reading books, one JMU freshman is coming out with her own. I talked to Natalia Seth, who has gained popularity on Instagram for her creativity and photoshopping skills. From idea to photo to final edits, Natalia Seth uses her love for color and photography to transport viewers on one big adventure.
My inspiration for a lot of my photos is color. I love color, and I find a lot of inspiration in like traditional art, other photographers, and a lot of my ideas come from my dreams.
Her journey to using fun colors in clothing and photos started at the age of just 13, just taking selfies on Instagram until she found another account that caught her attention.
She had like these really cool edits of her floating on clouds or coming out of frames, and half her body would be missing, and I wanted to learn how to do that. So I stalked her account, I found what app she used, I found what camera she used, and I begged my mom to let me borrow her iPhone 4S and like use the self-timer function, place it against a wall, and like run and take my own pictures and then edit it on an app I bought for like $1.
She's since upgraded from that iPhone to her own camera to take these photos, which are often created outside or in her dorm room.
I just like kept going at it, and eventually I was like look at my past work, I was like, oh, I improved a lot. Or I look at my now work, I'm like, oh wow, this looks good.
Now, she has almost 230,000 followers on Instagram, and she's in the process of publishing a book.
We wanted to do something surrounding the worlds I've created, so a lot of my photos are really happy and light and colorful, but at the same time there's some that are like techie and more scientific, or some that are more dark and like depressing, and we want to like kind of separate each world. And so as you're flipping through the pages, they're all cohesive, but they're separated by the world that they're in.
Whether it's her book or Instagram page at Escaping Youth, Natalia looks forward to producing unique content full of color.
So whether it be like surprised or shocked or like scared even, like as long as I leave an impression, that's my goal.
Reporting for Breeze TV, I'm Grace James. Natalia Seth's book, The Imaginary World of Natalia Seth, is now open for pre-order.
Now I am so excited. The weekend is finally here, and I'm excited for Jack Brown's birthday bash. Are you going?
I'm unfortunately going out of town, which is a bummer because it's like burgers and beach, and that's like my two favorite things.
I know, such a great mix. Hopefully the weather is good beach weather.
Yes. So, and that about does it for Breeze TV. Thanks for joining us, and have a great weekend.
Bye.